Jim Obergefell joins us this morning. He is now a candidate for the Ohio State House of Representatives. Jim, it's good to see you. Thank you for being with us. You told Cleveland.com it's concerning that, quote, some members of the extreme court are eager to turn their attention to overturning marriage equality. Why do you think this ruling could have an impact on marriage equality?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jose. And I am terrified, even though in this draft decision, Justice Alito says that it applies only to Roe versus Wade and a woman's right to an abortion and should not be taken to mean marriage equality is at risk. I don't believe that, because throughout this decision, he takes issue with fundamental rights. And he says fundamental rights should be based on our nation's history and tradition. Well, the right to marry only first was mentioned by the Supreme Court as a fundamental right in Loving versus Virginia in 1965. And that case is one of the major underpinnings of Obergefell v. Hodges. So if, in his opinion, that case, that right to marriage could be thrown out, then not just same-sex marriage, but in my opinion, interracial marriage is at risk. Not to mention the right to privacy. That shows up nowhere specifically, word for word, in the Constitution. And that right underlies the decision in Lawrence versus Texas, which took away laws banning sexual intimacy between people of the same sex. So I'm very concerned for the LGBTQ plus community, for women, for all of the progress we've made in civil rights in this country. If we have a Supreme Court that bases their decisions on such narrow ideas, that we have to go back to what it meant when the Constitution was written. That takes us back hundreds of years, and that's wrong for this country.
You know, lawmakers are promising to vote on legislation codifying Roe into law, but it's clear that, as it looks, that they really don't have the votes for it to pass. Similarly, there are no such national protections for same-sex marriage, for example. Is this something Congress should be taking up or looking into soon?
Absolutely. I live in Ohio, and Ohio never removed their state-level Defense of Marriage Act following the Obergefell versus Hodges decision. So should Obergefell v. Hodges be overturned, the state of Ohio could immediately say, you can no longer get married in Ohio, and we will no longer recognize lawful marriages from other states. So this is absolutely something we should be looking to codify. And for the LGBTQ plus community, honestly, the Equality Act would be one of the most important things we could do to ensure our place in We the People. We are supposed to receive life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, equal justice under law. And this decision, this draft decision on Roe versus Wade, is taking that away from women, and it's also very dangerous for the LGBTQ plus community and really any marginalized community.
So what do you think efforts should be underway if they're not already? And it's clear that so far, we're 2 or 3 days into this, but should the legislature take? And what are the things that you're asking for?
Well, I am asking for every state legislature to take action now to remove any existing ban on same-sex marriage in their state constitution. I'm asking Congress to take the steps that they can to codify our right to marry. My marriage to John, any marriage between two people of the same sex, that does no harm to any other person in this nation. We are Americans just like every other person. And to say that this is an issue of states' rights and that our existence, our relationships should disappear, be erased simply by crossing a state border, that to me is un-American, it's undemocratic, and it's simply wrong. So our legislatures need to do everything they can to remove existing laws on the books and enact new laws that protect our right to marry, to care for the person we love.
Jim Obergefell, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jose.